What's up everyone, welcome back to King Anime Review. For this video, I'm going to be once again talking about Boruto Naruto Next Generations Chapter 47. And this is probably, this is going to have predictions in it for Boruto Chapter 48 as well. So yeah, I'm probably going to title it Boruto Chapter 48 Predictions. But also I'm going to be talking about a couple other things that happened in Chapter 47 that I didn't go into full detail on in my review. If you haven't seen the review, please go check that out. Boruto Chapter 47 review. I just posted it out today. So, a couple of key things. So, one of them is the fact that Kawaki lost the Karma Seal. He lost the Karma Seal, and I talked about that in my review. I said that I think he's gonna. I'm pretty sure he's gonna get it back. I think that's pretty obvious, simply due to the flash forward sequence that was shown at the beginning of the Boruto manga and the Boruto anime, and it showed Boruto and Kawaki facing off, and they both had their karma seals activated, and they were getting ready to fight each other. And one key thing about that flash forward sequence, uh, I don't get why people are still saying that Isshiki possibly is controlling Kawaki during that sequence. That's obviously not the case, because Boruto referred to Kawaki by his name. He called Kawaki Kawaki, and vice versa. Kawaki called Boruto Boruto. So that definitely proves that it's not Isshiki controlling Kawaki during that flash forward sequence. So the thing with Kawaki losing his karma seal in this chapter is, due to the flash forward sequence, I'm pretty sure, I'm very confident that he's gonna end up getting that karma seal back. And like I just said, I think Kawaki and Boruto weren't being controlled during that flash forward sequence, or else they wouldn't call each other by their names. First of all, Isshiki has never even met Boruto, so he probably doesn't even know Boruto exists, and he definitely probably doesn't know his name. So you know, that's it wouldn't make sense for Kawaki to be controlled by Isshiki, and because if that was the case, it wouldn't make sense for him to call Boruto by his name and address him by his name, which shows the familiarity between the two of them. And like I said, Boruto also called Kawaki Kawaki. But I talked about this in my review, that Kawaki will end up getting the karma seal back. Uh, I'm pretty sure that Isshiki is going to reimplant the karma seal on Kawaki, and then in the flash forward sequence we seen at the start of the series in both the manga and anime, Boruto and Kawaki, they're both gonna have their karma seals, but they're not gonna be taken over by the Otsutsuki who implanted those karma seals on them. Rather, I think they're gonna end up figuring out a way to use the karma seal's power and suppress the Otsutsuki who's inside of them at the same time. So that's what I think about that. And also in the last in my review, I gave a little prediction about how possibly Jiraiya, not Jiraiya, Isshiki, possibly he's going to forget about Jiraiya's clone, his Kashin Koji. He's possibly just going to go straight after Kawaki, open a portal, open a dimension to go after Kawaki and reimplant the karma seal on him, because since he reincarnated through Jigen, who is in a suitable vessel, he's running low on time. It was actually stated in chapter 46, the chapter before this one, last month. It was stated that since Jigen is in a suitable vessel, if Isshiki reincarnates or resurrects through that vessel, Jigen, who is in a suitable vessel because he can't handle Isshiki's chakra, if that happens, then Isshiki will mostly likely die soon after, in a couple of days. So it's very likely that Isshiki is going to prioritize going after Kawaki rather than killing Kashin Koji. And that was also another prediction I made in my video, or not a prediction, but a possibility that I talked about in my video, the fact that in my review video, the fact that Kashi and Koji could end up surviving. Either Isshiki might just completely try to hurry up and open a portal and to go back to the Hidden Leaf Village to retrieve Kawaki, because he already did that before. So it's possibility that he could try to do that again, especially since he's running low on time. And another way Kashin Koji could survive is by using the reverse summoning technique, and just like the same technique Sasuke did against Deidara, where he reverse summoned from his snake. He summoned Manda and reverse summoned back to Ryuchu Cave to escape that explosion. So Kashin Koji could do the same thing with a toad. He could reverse summon back to Mount Miyaboku. So yeah, that's a possibility. And so another thing is I'm gonna talk about, I'm getting into a little bit of predictions as well, some other predictions. I mean, not predictions, but other possibilities that I didn't talk about in my last video. So there is a possibility that since Naruto and Sasuke, since Naruto, he had a feeling that it seemed like he was catching on to the fact that it was Jiraiya, and he said in the chapter he don't know why, but he don't know why he feels so concerned about Kashin Koji. So it's possible that him and Sasuke could try to go and save them. Go and try to save Kashin Koji. However, I don't think that's the most likely scenario. I think probably the reverse summoning thing is gonna happen. Kashin Koji is gonna reverse summon and leave the area Jigen's in. So yeah, but yeah, it's still a possibility that Naruto and Sasuke could go after Isshiki. But since Isshiki is a lot stronger now than when he was in Jigen's body as the vessel, uh, he's gonna be a lot hard. Like they already couldn't beat him the first time, so it's unlikely that they'll be able to beat a stronger version. But they could go there and quickly retrieve Kashin Koji and then try to escape really quickly. But I don't see that happening. So another thing is Kashin Koji. He was described as Jiraiya's clone. That's what Isshiki said. He said he was Jiraiya's clone, and Jiraiya bore I think he said he bore like a magnificent fate or something like that. But yeah, he's Jiraiya's clone. So the thing, I'm kind of thinking of it similar to the Shin Uchiha situation, because Shin Uchiha, the Shin Uchiha clones, not the original Shin Uchiha, but the Shin Uchiha clones, they were made out of his teeth, pretty much, by Orochimaru. And yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the same scenario we got going on with Kashin Koji. He must have been made out of Jiraiya's DNA and cultivated, sort of like the Shin Uchiha clones. And now he's a permanent clone. And in Naruto Gaiden, it was when Orochimaru was explaining the Shin Uchiha thing. He said the clones were permanent clones, basically shadow clones, kinda, that doesn't disappear. But that's made out of the DNA of Shin Uchiha. So sort of like a parent and child relationship. So you could almost say that Kashin Koji is kind of like Jiraiya's son. And also when Orochimaru was describing that, he said that these clones, they have their own existence, their own will, and so basically they're their own person. So Kashin Koji most likely has none of Jiraiya's memories or anything like that. But when he came to the Hidden Leaf Village, he did say he seemed like it seemed like him and the village is like bonded by fate or something like that. So he possibly could have been informed by Amato that he is a clone of Jiraiya, or he possibly just had that feeling that he felt like protecting that village. But yeah, I think that's all I wanted to talk about. Oh yeah, so another thing, as far as Kawaki losing the Karma Seal, that was his goal all along. Like that's what he told Boruto he wanted to do. So I mean, yes, it's good they finally achieved that, but unfortunately, he's most likely gonna get it back, especially since in the flash forward sequence he had the same karma seal. So curious to see exactly how that's gonna happen and when that's gonna happen. Um, so the last quick detail that I want to mention that I forgot to mention is the key thing, the cliffhanger that the last chapter left off on, chapter 46 last month. That key detail did not actually get addressed. The thing about how to kill a Otsutsuki clan member, that hasn't been addressed, and I think a lot of people miss that because the thing is, Jigen, the former vessel of Isshiki Otsutsuki, was killed, and he was killed because the only way, and they set this up perfectly. As far as Amato and Kashin Koji, they planned the whole reason they planned to have Kashin Koji fight Jigen, uh, at that time is because he was severely weakened after his fight against Naruto and Sasuke. He was only at 10% of his 10% of his power, and some people were confused. Like, if he's only at 10% of his power, how is he still able to use the Karma Seal? That has nothing to do with he can still do that. Just because he's at 10% of his power, that doesn't restrict him from being able to use the Karma Seal, but it does severely weaken him. And since it severely weakens him, it severely nerfed his abilities. So when he was shrinking uh, Kashin Koji's flames, he was actually shrinking Kashin Koji's fire in this chapter, and it was revealed that his ability, he can shrink literally anything aside from living things. The only living thing he can shrink is himself, so that's the only exception. But other than that, he can shrink all non-living things, and he was shrinking Kashin Koji's fire, and yeah, so that was he was shrinking Kashin Koji's fire, and then the thing is, it became too much for him. It became too much. The fire was constantly burning because Kashi Koji summoned real fire from flaming mountains, and that was another reason he wasn't able to actually absorb them with his Karma Seal. Because the Karma Seal can't absorb it. Karma Seal can only absorb chakra-based attacks, and these were real flames from flaming mountains. So yeah, that was cool, and they set that up perfectly because he couldn't absorb the flames with the Karma Seal, and the flames kept on coming because they were from flaming mountains, and uh, they just kept on coming, and he couldn't absorb them with the Karma Seal. And the more he shrunk them, the more that little thing on his abs began to crack. Uh, that little plate there. And he ended up disintegrating, and he couldn't continuously shrink the flames because he was at his limit. So they set that up perfectly. But the thing is, we didn't get the answer to how to kill the Otsutsuki clan member. Because think about it. Yes, Jigen did die. He was the vessel of Isshiki Otsutsuki, and he died, and his body completely disintegrated. But even his corpse, since his corpse contained the Karma Seal, Isshiki was still able to resurrect through Jigen, and he fully resurrected through Jigen, which in turn made any other people he implanted the Karma Seal on, such as Kawaki, the seal completely disappeared from all other vessels, and Isshiki has fully resurrected, and he's destined to die. He's probably gonna die very quickly. Now, here's the thing: there is a possibility that he could try to put the Karma Seal on Kashin Koji just to have a quick reassurance that he's going to reincarnate or resurrect. Because if he doesn't put the Karma Seal on somebody else, he's destined to die in a couple of days, as was stated in chapter 46, because he resurrected through a non-suitable vessel who can't handle his chakra, that being Jigen. So, but the thing is, there could be some type of self-destruction mechanic inside Kashin Koji, so he might self-destruct since he already completed his mission that Amato attended for him to complete. So that is a possibility. That's a strong possibility, in fact. Or Kashin Koji could try to reverse summon and leave the area or whatever. But there is a small possibility, I think, that he could put the karma seal on Kashin Koji just to have him as a temporary vessel, but he probably wouldn't be a suitable vessel because he's a clone of Jiraiya. He's not an actual human being. Uh, so he probably would still need to put the karma seal on Kawaki. But the major thing I just wanted to talk about is the answer to the question. Amato said he's gonna teach them how to kill Otsutsuki. He said that in chapter 46. That was the cliffhanger. But he never actually taught us that in this chapter. That's something that a lot of people missed, including myself. That explanation wasn't given because the vessel has been defeated, yes, but Isshiki Otsutsuki, and yes, he is on the verge of death, but he can still put the karma seal on somebody else. So Amato still hasn't fully explained how to kill a member how to kill a member of the Otsutsuki clan, and the thing is, he possibly have regeneration. Kaguya had regeneration, and Isshiki seems to be a stronger. He seems to be stronger than Kaguya. Possibly, he might possibly be stronger than Kaguya. So, with that being said, he might have the ability to regenerate, which will make it extremely hard to kill him. So, I'm curious to find out what Amato meant when he said he's going to teach them how to kill a member of the Otsutsuki clan, because he hasn't explained that yet, and I hope the stuff that he talked about in this chapter wasn't his little explanation, because that doesn't work. That he still hasn't taught us exactly how to kill a member of the Otsutsuki clan, because Isshiki isn't dead yet. He can still put the karma seal on somebody else, and he could possibly still regenerate. He's still gonna die. He's still destined to die. Uh, but as far as like killing him physically, he possibly still have regeneration. So just like Kaguya. So we don't know about that. Um, and also quickly, I want to mention his dojutsu. I think his dojutsu is a evolved version of the Byakugan. So just like how the regular Sharingan, the regular Tomui Sharingan, one Tomui, two Tomui, and three Tomui, that it's a power up to that, which is the Mangekyo Sharingan. That's the evolved version, and then it's another evolved version, the Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan, and then the fully the full what did Madara call it, or Kabuto? They called it oh yeah, Kabuto. He said the natural progression of the Sharingan is the Rinnegan. So I'm thinking, here's my prediction. I think the Jogan is kind of like the Jogan is kind of like the most I think is the highest form of an evolved Byakugan, and then under that is possibly the Tenseigan. That could be like a Mangekyo Sharingan type of thing, and possibly Ishiki's Dojutsu. It could be possibly in between the Jogan and the Tenseigan. So it could be kind of like an Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan. So, or it could be just like a Mangekyo Sharingan. Either way, I think it's an evolved form of the Byakugan, and also besides that new Dojutsu he has that we haven't seen before, he also have a standard Byakugan just like all the other Otsutsuki clan members. So that's interesting to note. I still see people talking about that people think just because Otsutsuki clan member don't have the veins, or that people think just because there's no veins like on the side of the eye that it's not a Byakugan. That's clearly not the case. People were saying that when Momoshiki took over Boruto, people were saying that um that Boruto had the Jogan, and I was one of the few people. I think I was probably the only person saying that it's actually the Byakugan, not the Jogan, because the Jogan have the white part of the eye, which is called the scala. That's gray in the anime. That's how the Jogan looks, and you'll be able to easily shade that in the manga to make it clear that it's a Jogan. So I was saying that Boruto's eye, when when Momoshiki took over him or whatever, and and he got that little Otsutsuki transformation, I was saying that was a Byakugan. But it's people who think just because you don't have the veins around the eye, it's not a Byakugan. That's blatantly not true. Look at Hinata's eyes. Look at Neji's eyes. They were born with the Byakugan. Uh, but having the the veins around the eye simply that shows that you activated it. But if your eye looks like a Byakugan, you have the Byakugan. You probably just don't have it activated. For example, King Shiki Otsutsuki. He has two Byakugans, but he never I guess you could say he never activated it, or we just haven't seen him activate it. Because he really doesn't need to use it. But yeah, he still has the Byakugan. And Momoshiki, he also had the Byakugan, and he did activate it when he showed up to the Hidden Leaf Village and the tuning exams. But before that, he didn't have the veins around it. So yeah, as far as that's pretty much all I gotta say. And as far as what the powers of his dojutsu is, it seems like it just makes his ability stronger. So now his ability to shrink things, and now he can do that on a mass scale. Apparently, because before that he didn't do it that much. But now he can do it on a mass scale. It seems like he can do it a lot faster and with a lot more potency than he did before. Because those when Kashin Koji's mask broke, it was some blood coming down from his face, from his forehead. And that most likely happened due to the chakra receivers, the black chakra receivers that Isshiki used in his fight against Naruto and Sasuke. They possibly are just a lot faster now, and since they're shrunken down to a point where you can't see them, that's possibly why we didn't see exactly how Kashin Koji's mask broke. But yeah, he broke Kashin Koji's mask, and he was just shrinking everything in the room. So it seems like his dojutsu just makes his regular abilities that we already seen him utilize when he was when he was using Jigen as a vessel. It possibly just makes those abilities stronger. So yeah, that's all I gotta say. Thanks for watching the video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.